right, welcome back. Back to the main story of the day. The DIDDY in deep trouble. Cassie's audio leak is chilling. What should we do for? Should we listen to our audio leak? This is actually a little bit of a stale gist, but I didn't get a chance to come and catch up on it. But there's an audio. I think we should listen to the audio. Let's listen to the audio, and then no, you know what? I'll tell you what. This is let me see here. This is more of the current news right now. And then we'll listen to the audio. Let's see here. Just about a quick update here from about 56 minutes ago. I'm looking at this on the e-news, eonline.com. It says the prosecution is streamlining their case against Sean Diddy Combs as the rap mogul's federal trial for sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution, to which he has pleaded not guilty, completes its 7th week in session. The prosecution has submitted a letter to Judge Aaron Subramania. Okay, no thanks. Amending part of their theories of attempted arson and kidnapping. And I quote, the government is no longer planning to proceed on their theories of liability, the prosecution stated in the letter obtained by e-news. So instructions are no longer necessary. In addition to dropping part of their argument of the first count, one count of racketeering conspiracy, the letter sought to clarify Combs' 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. When discussing the charges in closing statements this week, the letter notes that it is imperative the jury understand that earlier consent is not determinative of whether a victim was sex trafficked, adding that the same is true of forced labor. They are changing the amount on forced labor or sex trafficking. That's what that means, okay? Which is part of Combs' sex trafficking count. Additionally, the letter requests that the court instruct the jury that sex trafficking, labor, and payment to the victim for that conduct are not mutually exclusive. Combs currently faces 5 counts in his federal trial. The aforementioned counts, as well as 2 for transportation to engage in prostitution. The letter from the prosecution comes shortly after Combs' team rested their defense after only 20 minutes on June 24th, and the 55-year-old waived his right to testify. He is not going to testify. We have discussed it thoroughly. That is my decision. Combs, who has been in federal custody since his September arrest, that's going on almost a year now, maybe 9 months, told the judge of his decision to not take the stand. That is totally my decision. I am making it. In his rare statement, why do you think he's not taking stand? For all the lawyers in the house, Misty, EE, and Marriott, why do you think he's not taking the stand? Or what do you know? You guys tell us your professional opinions. Why is he not taking the stand? This one is going to be too deep for an average human being to understand. So maybe you guys can help us break it down. He says, I'm doing great, Your Honor. Combs told the judge. I'm doing great. Wanted to tell you, thank you. You're doing an excellent job. Keep reading for everything to know about Combs' trial. Now, I think all of us are already convinced that Sean Diddy Puff Daddy Combs is a freak. We already agree on that. The part that is being proven now, that if he's a criminal or not, all right, it's all allegations until proven guilty, right? All right. So he told the judge, Aaron Subramanian, that he will not take the stand during his sex trafficking trial. The judge emphasized that regardless of the rap mogul's decision, no one, including the jury, could draw any inference or suggestion of your guilt from the fact that you did not testify. They can't. I think they said it's part of the 5th Amendment or something, that they don't have to testify. They don't have to take a stand. Combs, who confirmed that he spoke with his team about not testifying, emphasized that this was solely his decision. We have discussed it thoroughly, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Defense shares estimation on closing argument. Combs' defense attorney Tenny Garagos told the judge that her team and the prosecution expect to take at least 4 hours each for their closing arguments. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and go take a look at let's see. All right, so Marriott is let's see, let me pull this up. Thank you, Marriott. Thank you for this here. She said, we did call him to the stand as a witness. The Fed government can't find him. What do you mean, quote unquote, find him? Or you're talking about Yaya Bello? I don't know. I think they get him on racketeering and transportation for a shower walk. The rest, I doubt it. All right, I'm gonna play this audio. This audio is one of the reasons why they are probably a little bit shaky in their boots. Number one, right not to self-incriminate. I love that. That is a big deal. Missy said, I'm exhausted. Oh, don't be, Missy. Don't be. This is a big case. It's a big guy. And by the way, there are many of them in the industry. Guess why they're trying to take him down? Your guess is as good as mine. It's not simply because it's a bad guy. You know, the average human being always think, it's a bad man. They should remove him from society. Wait, what? What do you mean? It's not that simple. Number two, he doesn't think the prosecution made their case. I like that. Why do anything? Better to sit down, look. Better to shut up. You don't have to say too much, right? Whatever they've said thus far, you're saying, yeah.
You are a mumu man.
He's saying, you're right. Let's see. Let's see if the jury have enough to remove him from our society. All right. I like it. I like where we're going here. Mara says because he's a black man. Okay. Misty said MVP evidence could be overwhelming against the accused as counsel doesn't want to expose him to incriminate himself during cross-examination. Exactly. Thank you for that, because it's also not that simple, right? On the other way around. So he can talk himself into a hole, essentially. He can talk himself into a hole. So it's best to just allow the professionals to do their work, especially that they're probably spending millions of dollars on this case. Why not? You know, but let me see here on so let's play the audio. This audio right here is one of the reasons why I think they don't have much against him. It's not as big as the average man might think, at least. But let's play it. Let's see.
Life and I'll kill you.
Wait, what?
No, I will. You don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you. No, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have it, pull that up. Because if not, I'm going to kill you and then he's going to kill you again.
Who is talking?
So just do it.
Cassie
pull
is talking.
That up right now. You got that pull that up. I'm going to kill you. You don't understand. I don't give a I've never killed anybody in my life, but I will kill you because you're with me. You're with me in my life right now. If I saw a video of you doing anything that you didn't want people to see, I would show you the video so you could tell me what the happened. You're playing games with me, telling me you saw some now you're saying you didn't see some you're with me. I'm going to you up. I don't think you understand. And it's not going to be my hands, and it's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it. So you have to tell me right now, and I'm recording this whole shit. FYI.
She's the one recording herself. Go figure.
You're talking about. Because this is not cool. We're not playing. I'm not playing with you, Sujit. Like, you saw some Yes, you're my brother. Be my brother and tell me what you saw. You're going to be able to find it? You don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you.
Yeah, but
no, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have...
All right, so two things. Shout out to Uncle Beno. Said, dude is a bad guy, yo. Interesting. I'll tell you what, it's irrelevant to the case. MOP credibility could also come into play, which DD lacks with this. Of course. The point I'm making to really maybe make it even simpler is that there's going to be multiple factors. Of course, your credibility is key, right? That's also now the other thing that's also a key factor here. Maybe you guys can word it better for me because I'm not a lawyer. A key factor will be the star witness. What is the credibility of the star witness? A star witness, am I still correct on this? A star witness will be Cassie, right? So what is the credibility of the star witness? Not to me and you, to the jury, right? I think that would also play a role in this one too, don't you think? Right? DIDDY lacks with the sex trafficking case, so you keep him away from the stand. That yes. $1 million a month on those lawyers, I will not disagree with them. Yeah, as a person who is being accused, yeah, it's better you don't. If you're being accused, allegations, stay calm. Stay calm. Very, very important. $1 million a month on those lawyers, I will not disagree with them. Marriott, that would be ironical, as he would go after everyone who didn't support him or spoke up. Witnesses would live in fear forever. Yes, that actually can be a variable too. So even if they reduce his charges, are they going to reduce it all the way down to ground zero? Could he possibly end up with a house arrest for just 2 years of probation? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to get him on something. But never say never. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't followed it long enough. In fact, I will be learning a lot assessing this case, to be honest with you. But I could see right now that it's never two variables as the average man always think. They think it's either is right or it's wrong. No, actually, for the most part, that right and wrong thing is probably irrelevant. It's if there's enough. It's if after explaining, if there's enough evidence.
We go explain because no evidence.
That's what it comes down to. And right now you see this young lady implicating herself. Now, that audio right there, I think the audio was recorded because somebody had a tape of her and she was recording, but she was using DIDDY allegedly to threaten another person. Okay? To the extent where she is saying she will not have blood in her hands, she will basically... But she's not the one that the case is against, so... But she's a star witness. So I'm interested to know how this plays out as time goes on, But if you guys want to drop some comments in on this, I have some other stuff I would like to cover, but if you guys drop in, I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. Mario says, now all the jury has seen the tapes. Yes, they have seen the tapes. Well, guess what? A lot of those tapes, what we're hearing is that a lot of those tapes, people are not looking like victims in those tapes. People, a lot of times, are looking like they are active, willing participants. Right? Does that mean they're not victims? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean there are no victims. The point is that it's a lot more complicated than just anyone. They're going to look at the whole thing overall, and I don't know how many people in the jury, 18, 20, I don't know. You're gonna have to make all those people believe that he's guilty. Victim number 2 was worse. She was so unserious. The victim number 2, I heard allegedly is Jane, aka Danity, something. I'll see if you can find it in a second. 50 Cent's baby mother. 50 Cent's baby mother. 50 Cent is an emotional human being when it comes to this personal stuff, and no wonder that he has some serious issues against DIDDY. But anyway, that woman is a freak. That woman has about 3 people. Okay, about 3 people. Let me see if I can get this done. TikTok shout out to you is over. I'm just running up the numbers here to see. Yeah, so we're gonna cover, I forgot her name, we'll pull it up in a second. So I think is that victim number 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know, but yeah, she was worse. The charges left have long sentences. The jury just doesn't know. Okay, we'll see. Misty EE says the jury tends to emphasize so much with sex victims. DIDDY has been painted as a demon. Remember, the jury are regular folks dealing with the facts of the case and the judge. That's a good point. Now, they are regular folks, but they are more than 2 or 3 people, right? I don't know how many. I'll pull it up in a second. But we'll see how it goes. That's another case. Dealing with the facts of the case. Misty EE, shout out to you, says power imbalance. DIDDY is wealthy and influential. Many of his victims had to do his bidding due to power imbalance. Yes. That's a major part of it too, that we've tried to highlight from day one. You know, when we talk about harassment, sexual harassment, or all these kind of cases, a big part of it is the power imbalance. A big part of it is if someone is in a position of power, similar to the Akpabio case, which is you have a Senate president with a serious political power, the arguments have to be made. They're not black and white, but the arguments have to be made, right? Usually 12 jurors, depending on the jurisdiction. Exactly. I think there's a lot more though for this case. But yes, let me read some of this comment on here. Somebody said, B, what? She ain't sounding like no victim. She got y'all fooled. That is a woman saying that. Why did I say that's a woman? Because I'm influenced too. I think it's important to know it's a woman, because people might think women automatically are siding with the woman. It's not always true. Somebody said, some of y'all really standing 10 toes down for that man and are grasping at straws with this one. Okay, that's another woman saying the audio will never clear my vision of her being beat in a hallway. Shake my damn head. All right, there's also other tapes that's been seen, right? There are also other tapes that they're saying they've seen of also her being an abuser, physical abuser. Okay, I'm talking about Cassie herself. So, and DIDDY has also said, I don't know if there are tapes of that, but DIDDY has said, well, she started first. Unfortunately, because of the power imbalance, I'm not sure if they'll buy into that anyway. But we know that a lot of these DV cases, a lot of times there are usually two participants, but it's not as simple as that. You can't say, oh, she did it too. No, it's about the position of power, not just from a legal standpoint, even from a social belief system standpoint. Gentlemen, you have to be careful. Remove yourself. Call the police first. I always say that. Don't come out and be telling me she did it first, Baba. You better have evidence so that you're not going to be shalaye until you go tired.
You go explain because no evidence.
All right, let me see here. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Keep going, Missy E. Marriott. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Cassie's abuse will be classified as self-defense, which is common among sex victims. Yes, maybe classified. Probably will be. Because again, DIDDY is such a powerful human demon, right? So yeah, it is 12. Like Missy said, okay, it's 12. Okay, great. Let's see here. How are you going to let a guy blowing up cars walk in the streets? Dangerous. We'll see. I'm going to be learning a lot from this. Me personally, I think it's going away for a long time. But sometimes when they start pulling up some of this audio, because I think it was the defense that pulled up that audio, right? Sometimes when they start pulling up such audios, it creates a little bit of doubt, especially somebody like me that I like to really think about this critically and look at all the different factors that are at play here. And it can start to put a little of shade in the whole thing. But I think you guys are right. I think this guy is such a powerful guy. I think it's going away for a long time. Let me see. Some other comment says she's so soft spoken. That's wrong. The person is being sarcastic. They're wrong. Someone said our little voice, I can't take it serious. She sounds like she's playing. Okay, I hope you have enough evidence for that. Somebody says she loved them freak offs, period. She said over and over again how much she loved them freak offs. There are audios of her actually saying she couldn't wait for the next freak offs. I think the defense also put some of those up. Why do y'all think she's still not a victim? How would y'all feel if someone had a position of a video of you in the middle of a heinous sex act? Okay, that's a good point, right? So anybody will run their mouth to the ceiling and say, and they will curse and they will threaten and all those kind of things, right? Yeah, it's possible. Okay, TikTok, thank you. I'm going off. Thank you. We're going off on TikTok right about now. Let me see if I can. All right. Yay. God, thank you. Interesting. We had about 48 people came by on TikTok. My algorithms on TikTok is dead. Joe. All right, thank you. All right, so why do you think she's still a victim? When put in any situation and you're back against the wall, it's fight or flight. Cassie girl, I support you 100 million times. Another 10,000 0%. Okay, somebody said I'm confused. What are they trying to prove with this? They have to pull all the stunts. They have to pull all the stunts they have left with them, right? They're trying to set him this. Somebody said $1 million per month. They're trying to set him free. What do you think they're gonna pull up all the stunts that they have? They'll pull them out. All the weapon against all the spirit of principalities trying to put Diddy away for life. They will pull them out. That's the way it works. Someone says she was high off that baby. Oh yeah. Talking like that. Wahala. So, but what if it's AI? Everybody is talking about it's AI. It is AI. Someone say y'all sound dumb as F in this comments. Talking about she's just doing it because of the abuse. Where is that same grace with the young black boys that's choosing to be in the streets to survive? Y'all don't even talk like that. It's like that. It's always lock them up. The fact that it's as a person who has been abused, it's a choice to stay point blank no matter how scared a person is. It's still up to you. Okay, that sounds stupid. That's not how they're going to look at it. They're not going to look at, oh, just because it's a choice. No, they're going to look at what are the behind the scenes of the choice that person made. Yes, the old Stockholm syndrome thing is real, and they will use that because remember, like Misty E said, those are real people in the jury, and they will assess everything. It's not going to be as simple, you made a choice to stay. No. And it's also not going to be as simple as, oh yeah, you're a victim. No, because somebody's life is at stake and somebody is paying millions of dollars to a few people to set them free. It's all fair game at this point. Why she sound like Christina Milian? I don't know. She's not a victim. Somebody said, a woman says she's not a victim. Another person said, she's so sweet even when she's mad. Problems. Oh God. Somebody said she sound like Beyonce acting. God. All right, let me see if there's anything else that we haven't pulled up here in the past. All right, here's an audio of DIDDY. Let me play this audio of DIDDY. Let's see what he's saying in here. I haven't covered this in the past.
I don't have a lot of friends out here, okay? She asked me if she could work out with me. I said, okay. You got to believe what you want. It's the last time you and cursing at me, disrespecting me over nothing. Like I'm a human being. I'm not going to lock myself up in a room and have no friends. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. I already told you that. And she just came over to work out. But I'm not going to be explaining. It don't matter if I just got finished day. I'm single. I could do whatever I want to, but I didn't. You're straight flipping out on me, and I told you that you had one more time to do this. Flipping out on me because somebody came to work out with me at my house. You're nuts. So be sad, go crazy, do whatever you want to do. Okay, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve being honest with somebody. And then every time they see somebody around, they like, I'm doing something. I don't have a lot of friends out here, okay?
All right, so that was DIDDY against a recording to Jane. Jane is allegedly the young lady, baby mother of 50 Cent. You know, the 50 Cent thing blows my mind. That girl, if she's that type of girl, you will go as a high earning person, go and have sex with that person and have babies as a 50 cents or more. This life, some people are just, it looks like they're just roaming about, don't care about their life. But anyway, that's Jane. They call her Jane, but I think it's many people have said that she's actually 50 Cent's baby mother. I don't know if that has been confirmed, but I'm looking at this comment. Somebody said, what does this have to do with these charges? Remember, the job of the federal prosecutor is to put him away for life. It's all fair game. Anything that will paint him in bad light, okay, they pull them up. But again, like somebody said earlier on, maybe DIDDY doesn't think that they've done a good job at prosecuting him, or proving their case, right? So maybe that's why it's not taking a stand. Somebody say, I mean, it ain't wrong. What was the point of this? This makes him look human. Okay. So I don't know. Was it the prosecutor that put this out? I think so. Okay. Let me see what they say in the caption. I'm so sick of this case. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let me see here. All right. Let me come to the chat. Shout out to Misty EE. I see you guys have a serious interest in this case. Exotical rappers and athletes keep passing the same women around. Lemmings and homoerotic. Who knows? I mean, they don't know what to do with themselves with such levels amount of money, right? I missed a lot of the hearing, but I am getting back into it. Okay. Stockholm Syndrome is mind-blowing. Brian Steele did an amazing job. Why didn't Tina Turner leave? Why didn't they leave their baby daddy? People overestimate themselves. That's a good way to see it. People literally overestimate themselves. You hear it when people say, I will never do this, I will never do that, I will never do, you know, they start saying things they don't know they will do if they're not yet in that situation, right? Yeah, wait until you're in that situation. Yeah, it's not easy to just leave, especially if it's a source of supply of a type of drug or drug of survival or anything. Just think it that way, right? It's not that simple to, like, you have autonomy but not really. No, but you start to make your own choice, like, yeah, but not really. Just wait until you find yourself in certain situations. You will see that your power of choice is actually paralyzed to a large extent. So it's easy to make the example of when women are victims or children are victims. Actually, it's true for all of us. Okay, so you get yourself off that pedestal. Okay, emotions no be your mates. All right, so I always try to point out the basic human needs. If any one or two or a couple of those things are tampered with, you never know how you would make certain choices. Life can be very difficult when it comes to decision making and making choices. You just have to be in a position where you might have your back against the wall. That's why I said, don't count on it. Just keep feeding yourself, take care of yourself, work on yourself. That's your only point of leverage. I will never accept anything. Wait till you will accept that and more if you find yourself in certain situations. So if you don't work on yourself to make sure that you're attracting the right energy around you, you might just accept times 10 even that. So, but that's why people will say, I will never, you know. Defense will pull out all sorts of evidence it deems relevant to shift the onus to the person. You never know how, no matter how little, you never know how much of a need you to shift, right? So, prosecution are crowned to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. Absolutely. Capricorn Clark was good, but they just said no direction on kidnapping. It was 90% of her story. Yeah. How are you going to let a guy blowing up cars? Yeah, we covered that already. We just never know with these things, right? We never know. We just have to watch and see. You see, when people say OJ was actually acquitted, right, in the 90s, that is actually a case that a lot of people are considering comparable because everybody thought there was overwhelming evidence to put him away for life. For buying his wife back then. OJ has passed. I think he passed away not too long ago. So you just never know, because for every case you want to reference in the books of history, once upon a time it was the first time, and there's always a first time for everything. And like Mr. E said earlier on here, they're looking for, how did you say it? Defense will pull out all sorts of evidence to deem relevant to shift the onus to the prosecution to prove the case beyond. That's the phrase I was looking for, beyond reasonable doubt. Did you see how excited I was to say that? Because this is the reality of life, even before you come into legalities of things. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They think it should be as simple as right and wrong, and it is not. And you can tell with the way they handle the commentary around these kinds of cases. All right, so let me pull this one up. Let's see here. All right, so this is what we're looking at now. You can see this is 3 hours ago. They said feds drop kidnapping, arson, This is as posted on, what is this, Bola Alert? Bola Alert. Trafficking, aiding charges in Combs case as trial focus narrows. In a major shift in the federal case against the defendants in United States versus Combs, prosecutors have officially dropped 3 charges. Attempted kidnapping, so it was even attempted. It wasn't even straight kidnapping. Can you imagine? Attempted arson and aiding and abetting sex trafficking. The U.S. Attorney's Office filed a letter to judge. Yeah, we read that one earlier on, right? Somebody said, sounds like he'll be home in about 3 business days. Somebody said they see how the woman gave consent to be freaks is guilty of domestic violence, though. I mean, yeah, we saw that. We saw that with our own Kurokuro eyes. Someone said this shift could have went to small claims and DV courts. Oh no. I mean, Diddy is a freak and is a super powerful man. So I doubt it. This is, somebody could, the prosecutors would like to make a career out of this. Don't forget that. They like to make a career out of it now. Hit the like button, though. I beg, hit the like button if you haven't done that. It would be nice to make a career out of putting Diddy away for a long time, right? Their names will be in the books. So how many people are out there monitoring spirits that would like to take credit for making you a perpetual victim? So if no one believes this case was about to be assassination of character and putting the black man back in his place, then you're clueless. See, that person is thinking with one side of a human brain. They still don't get it too. They don't know how this works in real life. This was just public humiliation. Diddy's lawyers singing, we ain't go nowhere. This is bad boy for life. Anyway, someone said Diddy's lawyers singing. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, so I said, free Diddy. I don't care what that man does in his bedroom. It ain't nobody's business. Honestly, all parties were adults and consented. This was a smear campaign, a stay in your place lesson. Yeah, it's not going to be that simple. He's a powerful man, and that is a big variable in this case. Either it is stated in black and white or not. Somebody, if you're going to get a traffic ticket, not a traffic ticket, what's that? He can replace that with $150 and probably go home completely free. One day, people will read more than a headline. This isn't a win for the defense. Not yet. Somebody said, free Diddy, get dog some help. They just wanted to humiliate him in front of the world. I mean, he's a freak. He's such a freak. Yeah, rubbing cum on your nipples, that is a freakish thing to do. That is crazy. After somebody has come all up inside of your girl, that is crazy. Anyway, he'll get convicted of a lesser charge and received time served. Yeah, because he's served about 9 months already. It's possible. It's very possible. They just wanted to humiliate him. I can't wait until he come home so I can attend a Diddy party with it. Somebody said he coming home. As you can see here, a significant amount of people in this comment actually think he might come home. We don't know. We do not know. Myra says people don't know what he is charged with. It is obvious. Was that consent voluntarily given or under duress? That's the question, Missy E. That's what they need. That's what somebody needs to prove, right? Me, I don't know. I can't predict anything, honestly. I know I said I think it's going away, but you see how I just changed my mouth just very quickly. See, I don't know. I don't know. You would care if one of your family members was a victim. I know, the person that said I don't care, right? I know. But a lot of children in those parties over the past 30 years, 3 decades. So, but the truth is that a lot of people can't connect with this case at a personal level. So it is what it is. All right, let me see how Hollywood Unlocked has worded this. They said, well, here's a little good news for the DIDDY stars, for the DIDDY star. In the latest update in the high-profile court drama, federal prosecutors have dropped some charges I want to see the comments. Somebody said they just wanted to embarrass this man in front of the world. BS case. Most of those charges were there to shed light on his character, and they did. They don't need those to stick. Their purpose was done. Okay? He walking for sure. Now, Diddy coming home. Y'all keep comparing this case to R. Kelly. Robert was effing children and knew their damn age. Okay? I mean, is there a way to justify Diddy in this case? I mean, these are nasty behaviors at the end of the day, but they're not necessarily criminal behavior. We'll find out in a few days, maybe. He's walking. They do sentence him to any of the charges, it's given time served. You know, the other day they charged, who was that? That they charged to, I forgot, was it, who was charged? Was it Bill Cosby? Some crazy charge that's basically a charge. No, it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump was convicted and then was basically acquitted. It was sentenced to, what was it? It was sentenced to freedom. They still use the language freedom, something like that. And people are like, wait, what? That can happen? Yes, it can happen. Yes, of course, it can happen. Mara says the arson and kidnapping are just some of the crimes to consider under the racketeering charge. They have so many other that they have proven, in your opinion. Bribery, distribution of drugs. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. That's a good point. I don't think they did a good job, but they know better than me. I mean, they are collecting $1 million a month. You know, I mean, the defense, right? We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, because right now I am on the fence. I am back to the fence personally. Okay, I am back to the fence. So about 5 days ago, they had, you remember this guy right here, Diddy's alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, testifies he brought drugs, handled cash, and helped set up Wild King sex nights, all under immunity. So he's going to be free, but he's a rat. Okay. Diddy's alleged drug mule took the stand after being granted immunity and detailed his role in Combs' inner circle. He admitted to purchasing weed, Xanax, 2Chi, pink cocaine, testing drugs to prove loyalty, and helping arrange what were called Wild King nights, which involved drugs, sex, and multiple partners. Yeah, I think this is the part you were saying, right? So
yeah, you don't have to see it, but
they might have proven something. I don't know. You know, they might have, but this was their star witness. But let me ask you this question: Do you think he might get as low as time served? Okay, I'll do like this. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Diddy is going to get time served as a sentence and actually go home? It's a tricky question, but it's a trick question. On a scale, okay, in fact, let me ask ChatGPT actually. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just trying to use it to transcribe my voice. Okay. Wait now. Turn on the microphone. Okay, here you go. All right. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Puff Daddy Diddy Sean Combs will be sentenced to time served and go home free? That's a question. Now I'm gonna grab that and post that so you guys can see clearly. Okay, that is the question, and then I will ask ChatGPT to see what it says. I meant the prosecution, defense don't try. Depends on what. Depends. That's the question right there. That's the question, guys. That's the question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Puff Daddy Diddy Sean Combs will be sentenced to time served and go home free? Mario says depends on what they convict him of. If they convict him, okay, I think they will convict him of something. I don't know if he's just gonna be free, but See, there's a difference between he might go home free and be convicted, because Donald J. Trump was actually convicted and he went home free. He was actually never locked up. So that is a possibility. So I want to know, on a scale, give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10. Give me a number in your opinion. Miss TEE said, if he's sentenced for life, then he will be eligible for parole in 20 to 25 years time. Me thinks. You think they have that much on him just for bribing? Abi, what is it that Myra said earlier? Bribing, yeah, drugs, distribution of drugs. You think they have that much on him? I don't know. I don't know. From a standpoint of common sense, which I think is a terrible guide to life, it doesn't sound to me that they have that much on him. But let me see what ChatGPT said. Oh, ChatGPT says is on my side. It said it's hard to predict with absolute certainty, but considering recent developments and legal trends, the chances seem fairly reasonable. He's had quite a journey through the legal system, hasn't he? Okay, wait, that's ChatGPT. Let me see what Gemini says, because I don't know what you're talking about, ChatGPT. I wanted something. I need you to get off the fence. Don't hang out on the fence like me. Let me see here if I can pull up something here. Let's go. Let's see what Gemini says. Then I'll round up for the day. This one is giving me excuses. Go somewhere. It says, I apologize, but I encountered a syntax error. Search online. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we. Okay, all right, we found something. Nothing much. They're hanging out on the fence, rightfully so, because they're public platforms. Based on the most recent information, June 24th, 25, Sean Diddy Combs is currently on trial in federal court in New York City, facing 5 felony charges: racketeering, conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion. Have they really assessed the fraud thing? I haven't really been following. And 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Here's a summary of the latest development. Trial status. The prosecution and defense have both rested their cases. The trial has been ongoing for over 6 weeks. Combs' plea: he has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Potential sentence: if convicted, he could face up to life in prison. No bail. He has been held in... Okay, no bail. Combs not testifying. Defense strategy is defense team called no witness and moved for acquittal, arguing the government failed to meet its burden of proof. So they actually brought no witnesses. Interesting. The judge has reserved judgment on this motion. Dropped charges. Prosecutors have decided not to pursue attempted arson, kidnapping charges previously alleged as part of the racketeering conspiracy, focusing instead on sex trafficking and forced labor. Okay, key evidence. The prosecution presented evidence including testimony from over 30 witnesses, including 2 former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and Jane. Okay, text messages and graphic videos of freak-offs and hotel nights. Okay, defense argument. The defense maintains that the sexual encounters were consensual and that the prosecution has not proven the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. What's next? Closing argument are tentatively scheduled for Thursday. Okay, so on Thursday, which is in about 24 hours or so, I guess we'll find out more. They said the conclusion from Gemini says, given that he is currently on trial for serious federal felony charges that carry a potential life sentence, and he has been held without bail, the chances of him being sentenced to time served and going home free are extremely low. They said low. That means like a 1, 2, or 3. Time served is typically for less severe cases, and when a defendant has already spent a significant amount of time in custody, that would largely fulfill a likely sentence. Wait, what? When a defendant has already spent a significant amount of time in custody, that would largely fulfill a likely sentence. In this high profile is key. High profile is key. In this high profile federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial, a conviction on any of the current charges would likely result in a substantial prison sentence, not just time served. Marriott is right. The outcome now rests with the jury after closing arguments and their subsequent deliberation. Okay, I'm going to just read you guys' comment and then we'll go home. Marriott is right. I'm leaning with Marriott now at this point in time. Marriott and Missy, actually. I'm leaning with you guys at this point. Missy said if he's sentenced for life, then he'll be eligible for parole in 20. Okay. RICO sentencing is like 20 years and loss of assets. I'm not too familiar with the US system. They tend to be similar. Conviction is different from sentence. I would rather see a sentence enforced. Okay, US system is difficult as each state has different set of laws. Well, New York City tends to be complicated too. Trump's own were pen offenses, Joe. Okay, you're right about that one. Okay, all he was trying to do is grab a push. He wasn't running enterprise and freak off parties, and he wasn't doing it for 30 decades with a bunch of girlfriend witnesses. Anyway, there was bribery though. It's not bribery crimes, it's the RICO that has long sentences. That's a good point. The enterprise, the fact that it's enterprise level, right? Each of those charges carry long sentences. So even if he's convicted of only one, he's roasted. Okay. All right. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Victim number 2 was sex trafficking via fraud. It won't work. Okay. There was no fraud. Okay. Well, they're dropping the sex trafficking part, right? Thank you, because I was struggling. He couldn't be granted bail because witnesses need to be protected. Time served will be counted into the time sentence, but it sounds like it's going to be significantly higher than the 9 months served, right? So easily convinced. Shout out to Missy, EE, and Marriott. You guys didn't come up stage, but I appreciate the chat nonetheless. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notification. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Let me look at my schedule. For tomorrow. Okay, it's wide open. Let me lock it. I'll lock it just for you guys. Just for you guys participating today. I'm gonna lock it down so that no one takes it. Blocked. All right, good. We'll be back here tomorrow, especially that tomorrow there's a likelihood that we're gonna get some updates on that. All right, thank you guys. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and God bless. Peace.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.